And there we go. We are live on Facebook. Welcome. This is Shiraz with Rewriting Reality, a breakthrough show extra. And you see, I have a new background just for today with Success Fest on one side and Breakthrough Show on the other side. And then, of course, the title of the program. And the reason being, I have Dr. David Banks with me today, and we are both speakers in the Success Fest, which starts on Wednesday. Now, Dr. David Banks is not just a doctor. He has a PhD, and he is the president of the Noble Success Strategic Group. He is the president of the Global Alliance of Leadership Development. He is also a certified speaker, trainer, and coach with John Maxwell team. He is a certified professional coach with expertise in relationship development, success development, leadership development, motivation, purpose discovery. Oh my God, I'm getting tired just going through all this. Author of 5 books, 2 on marriage, 1 on leadership, and 2 children's books. I want to hear more about that as well.
Oh, yeah.
And the host of Conversation with Dr. Banks, as well as being having the Noble Success Facebook group to go along with the company, I assume.
That's right.
So welcome to the show. I am excited to have you here. I'm excited to be with you in Success Fest coming up this week. And what's going on? How are you doing?
Hey, I am great. And again, thank you so much for this opportunity. I know that you and I met through Success Fest. And so it's definitely been a pleasure. So I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Yeah, because we started on that very first call for the auditions to get in there.
That's right. I remember. I remember.
And then when they sent out the stuff after we got in there, when they sent out the promotional stuff, and we hear that was 32,000 people auditioning and 200 people made it. And we were like, in the 200 that made it, I was like, I didn't realize there were that many people involved. Holy crap.
I know it. Yeah, I was really, it was exciting. It was an exciting opportunity.
Yeah. And I wanted to get you on because I wanted to chat a little bit about Success Fest with you, but this is called Rewriting Reality.
Excellent.
And when I bring on guests, it's to talk about that moment or moments in their lives where there was that reality shifting moment where either there was the struggle that was going on, and then you had that, oh, okay, this has to change, or I'm going to make this change, or whatever it is that changed your reality. So I am curious. I want to get right into it. Tell
Excellent.
us about what happened for your reality shifting moment.
All right. Well, let me tell you the quick backstory. All right. So we can put in context. Everything started for me when I was in middle school. I'm the youngest of 2. I have an older brother, older sister. And my dad, you know, he's 6'6", over 300 pounds, a massive, serious man. So I've always wanted to please him in some kind of way. So I remember in middle school, I tried out for the varsity basketball team. I was so excited. And I was like, man, if I do this, this really is going to help me really get some huge kudos from my dad. So I end up making the team. And I remember coming home, getting ready to tell him, Dad, I made the team. And I had kind of envisioned in my mind that we were going to celebrate. We were going to talk, wow, my son, he's probably going to be the next Magic Johnson. Michael Jordan wasn't playing at the time. So I had it all played out in my mind. And when I got home, he was sleeping in his favorite chair. I touched him on his shoulder and I said, Dad, I made the team. And I was so excited. And I thought immediately that what I had played in my mind was getting ready to be a reality. Mm-hmm. And he looked at me and he said, you're never going to amount to anything.
Oh,
you're never going to succeed. You're never going to make the NBA. My friend, I was devastated. It happened so fast. I was thinking, surely he didn't say what I thought he just said. And he kind of dozed off back to sleep. And I'm thinking, I probably don't need to wake him up again. That right there really turned a huge trajectory of my life in the wrong direction. That's created a lot of self-doubt in my life. I started questioning, am I handsome? Am I smart? And that lasted throughout high school, throughout college. And it really left a huge imprint, a negative imprint on my life. And I remember after college, I was reading this book by Dr. Miles Monroe,
Mhm.
and it says, "In pursuit of purpose." And at that time, I didn't know anything about what purpose was and things like that. But from reading that book and helping me to understand this central principle, that my purpose was established in me before I ever had a past.
Hmm.
When I got that revelation, that's when my reality changed.
Okay.
When I took the time and went through a journey of discovering my purpose, and that was in 2003, right there. That I start rewriting my reality
Nice.
because it just realized it just helped me to understand that, hey, David, that was in your past. All right. That your past does not define you. All right. Your past is just something you've been through, but it doesn't define you. So when I really spent that time to discover my purpose, that truly rewrote my new reality in my life. And so here I am today, being married 31 years, three beautiful kids, successful business, and impacting people all over the world.
Okay. That, I mean, that was just the impact of your dad's words, like, okay, right. And when you got that awareness and that revelation, but I have a feeling that although you got that revelation, you're like, that's the moment that everything changed. I don't think it just suddenly went, oh, well, now everything just worked out really well and everything that you wanted showed up and you were like, right? Was it
Yeah,
that
that was
smooth?
a process. That was a process. That was a process. After I got that revelation,
Yeah.
that started the process. So
Mhm.
let me quickly finish up with my father.
Mhm.
All right. Definitely, he was older at the time, and I remember his health was failing, and we had moved. Had gotten married, moved out of state, and I remember coming to visit him, and we was in the room together. He was sleeping. He woke up. He saw me and saw that I was the only one in the room. And this is what he said. Just out of the blue, he said, "I'm sorry." I'm thinking,
Oh.
okay, what's going on here? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he started crying. And he said, "I'm sorry for the way that I treated you." Now, we never did revisit that situation with varsity. What he said, we never did bring that back up.
Mhm.
But you could look in his eyes and you could see that, man, I'm trying to just do a good sweep of how I've treated my son. And I'm trying to just take care of it right now.
Mhm.
Instead of going from one incident, he just like, look, I just need to go ahead and say, "I'm sorry of how I treated you." And that was a very meaningful moment.
Mhm.
We had a chance to kind of mend some fences. And that was the evening. Yeah, that was kind of mid morning when that happened. All right. Right after lunch, he was eating lunch. My mother was there, came in the room. My sister came in the room. We were all standing on at the edge of the bed. And my dad was eating lunch. And, we were laughing. And I'm looking at my dad laughing. I didn't see that growing up. My dad was a very serious man.
Wow.
He was
Okay.
laughing and he had finished eating and he looked up at me. He looked up at me and he said, "I love you."
Okay. How often has he said "I love you" to you?
Oh, my dad had the mindset growing up,
Mhm.
I don't tell you, I'm going to show you. Because
Okay.
that's what his dad is just like, boy, you don't need to know, you don't need to hear it. You have a roof over your head, you got a bed to live, to sleep in, you got food. So that was his mindset growing up as I was growing up. I'm gonna provide for you, and that should let you know that I love you. So hearing it, I'm stunned. I'm like, oh my God, I've never heard these words before. And after he said, I love you, he went off to sleep and he died the next morning.
Oh my God.
That was the last words. I love you. The last word he shared with me. Man, I tell you, it yeah, yeah.
It's sort of tragic, but it's also so beautiful because that's not usually the last conversation you have with someone before they pass on.
I know.
Oh,
And that helped me so much, with grieving,
mhm.
because normally when you're grieving, you kind of picking and choosing the memories you're going to hold on to. And since we didn't have a whole lot of, I would say pebble memories that I could pick up and treasure, that one right there
Mhm.
was the biggest one. The
Yeah.
biggest one right there. It was, I treasure that. And from that time on, I just really learned in my life, don't just end up saying I love you at the end of your life.
Mhm.
So now in my own life, I'm very intentional. So I say to my bride, I love her. I intentional say I love you to somebody every day.
Nice.
That's what I learned from that situation, is just being mindful, because my dad was in his late 60s when that experience happened with me. So I just realized, David, just be intentional. Be intentional every day. Let someone know that you love them. So I've really developed that in my life.
That's beautiful. So I'm like now the parenting books and the kids books are like the clarity is really coming in here.
Yes, 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 yes. My two children's books. I wanted to. I just know from taking psychology, human growth and development, every child is born with three questions: Am I loved? Am I accepted? And do I have significance? So
Mhm.
every boy, girl, when they are born with those three questions. So I realized, I was a counselor for a number of years, and I realized a lot of parents didn't know that information. And one thing about a child, it's inborn in them to expect that.
Mhm.
Now, if they don't get that, they start looking for other ways to get that affirmation. So a little boy, when he grows, as around the teenage years, if he hasn't gotten those, I love you, this, he's going to start trying to figure out maybe in games. A girl, either she's going to really get into her studies or end up trying to be in a relationship. So the first book is called Joshua's Treasure Coat. My Daddy's Coat. It's about a little boy named Joshua. His parents were moving, and he went into his room, opened up this box, and it was a big coat, and ended up it was his daddy's coat. So he put the coat on. It was so big, and he ended up slipping his hands in his pockets, in the pockets of the coat, and it brought out little notes. And one note said, "You are loved. You are accepted." So what the little boy did, he got the notes, took them, and crossed off "you are" and added "I am."
Oh,
I am.
yeah.
So that's Jacob.
Mhm.
That's the boys' version book. So after that, I created a little girl's book called Jada's Treasure Chest. So while Jacob was enjoying his father's coat, Jada, she loves going to the beach. So she went to the beach, and all of a sudden she looked over and saw something in the sand, went over there. It was a treasure chest. She opened up the treasure chest, all of these beautiful treasures, and there were some notes. And the note said, "You are beautiful. You are loved. And she took those and crossed off "you are" and put "I am." So I use those books to really help parents understand this is how you need, because I tell, when I'm teaching in education and working with educators, I tell them, especially younger educators, teachers, if you don't help confirm who they are, it's going to be hard trying to educate what they need to understand. So I really work with parents to help them understand, if you want to help your child's education, go ahead and make sure they understand these fundamental needs. So it's been nice. It's been nice.
So I am currently putting a link to your website on the page where you can get those books, so that people
Excellent.
listening can just grab that off the live, because those sound like some really cool books to have.
Hey, I've enjoyed them. I've enjoyed them.
Okay. So yeah, that's such a good lesson, just to that I am. I've heard that from so many coaches, like how powerful I am is.
Oh, yes.
And people don't even realize that, like, right back to the Bible, they started talking about the power of I am, but a lot of people don't realize, like, they just think, well, that's part of the story, and it's and it's not like this is something you should be affirming to yourself every single day.
That's right. That's so right. That's so right.
Okay. So what about the other two books?
Well, definitely my wife and I, we've always had a passion for marriages.
Mhm.
That was, I always say our story started when we were in college. It wasn't love at first sight. It was really kind of both finding out how we both felt about marriages. My wife is from India.
Mhm.
So when we started meeting, when we started necessarily becoming friends in college, I had never met an Indian girl before, so I didn't know the culture. I was real passionate about marriage because I saw a lot of broken marriages with my uncles and grandparents. Then, talking to Sylvia at that time, 30 years ago, she said, David, in our culture, we don't divorce. Divorce is a huge, bad taboo, especially for a woman. A man can get divorced and marry someone else, but a woman, if she's divorced, it's history. It's like this
Okay.
scarlet
Yeah.
scarlet thing on her. She is marked for life. Nobody's going to marry her. So she said, what happens in our culture, if a woman is displeased and being abused in a relationship, she just commits suicide. And
Oh.
that just took me. And when I was in India in 2010 and 2011, every morning I would have coffee and breakfast, and I would read the paper. Now, interesting enough, in our paper here, we have an obituary.
Yeah.
But in India, in their paper, they have a whole section for just suicide,
Jesus.
because it happens so much, So they and interesting enough, the page is really made up of women and students. Well, men too, but mainly a lot of women, because if, like they said, if they're in a relationship and they realize, wow, this thing did not work, he's ending up abusive, she would just set herself on fire. And that just really went all over me. So that was really a passion that both of us had, relationships.
Mhm.
And that just really brought us together. So we wrote a book called Draw Me Close. Now, I realize men are not avid readers. You ask a man, hey, honey, let's read a marriage book together. He is not going to. Hey, turn that Monday Night Football off and let's cozy up and read a marriage book. I don't think so. I don't think so. So I realized, hey, how am I going to get a man to get involved in a marriage book? So I decided, hey, I realized this: men bond by doing things, women bond by communicating. So I said, I need to create a book that has the best of both. So I created a book called Draw Me Close, and there are 30 different activities that a couple can do together. Now, based upon doing them, they have to debrief after they doing them. So the man would be excited about, wow, these are 30 activities. Let's work it out. We can do one a week, one a month. Well, while they're doing it, they have to communicate to make, to debrief. How did that? So that has just really been a win-win situation where now the man, he gets to what? Check it off. That's the way men think. There are 30, so I'm gonna check them off,
Yeah.
And the woman gets the treat of, wow, he really, and these are activities that they can do inside the home, outside the home. So various different activities to really help them understand the importance of closeness, because that's the ultimate goal of marriage, is to maintain and develop oneness.
Mhm.
Many couples, since they don't understand that, they start off like this, but since they are not intentional, they slowly drift.
Mhm.
They slowly drift. So I wanted to really develop a model to really help them to continue to stay close.
So
I
with,
think someone said they wanted an example.
oh, sure. There, I see that. Go for it.
All right, one example. I call it the timeline. So what I do with a couple is I have them to write down the day they've been married. All right, whatever day they got married, and then draw a line and then put today's date. So let's say they got married 20 years ago. All right, so they got married then they would draw a line to the day's date. And then I would say, what I need you to do is to look on this spectrum from the day you got married to the day's date. And I need you to work together and find 4, I call them treasured moments. Things that both of you would agree, wow, that was a nice moment together. And I always say, don't use the birth of your children. That's the easy one. So let's not do those.
Okay.
But it causes them to really look within their relationship and find some treasured moment. Oh man, I remember one Sunday afternoon, we just decided to take a drive and we just had the best time. It was impromptu and it just turned out wonderful. I said, those are the ones that I want. And I remember the first time I did this with a couple, and I said, this is what we're going to do. They looked at me and said, Dr. Banks, we can't think of anything. I said, all right, let me help you. And it was a counseling session. I said, did you both agree to come to counseling? And they said, oh, okay. So they wrote that down. And then I said, well, now I need you to just think. They sat back and they came up with about 15 of them.
Mm.
And I said, how in the world did you come up with 15? This is what they said. We start intentionally focusing on what was going well in our relationship instead of always focusing on the 1 or 2 things that's not going well.
Mm.
Man, I tell you, my friend, I tell you, everywhere I've gone across the world and did that assignment with couples, they always come back and say, Dr. Banks, this is amazing. We've spent so much time focusing on the 1 or 2 things that's not working,
Mhm.
and we haven't stopped and just really looked at, there have been some great moments in our relationship, and we've just taken them for granted. So that's just one of many different little exercises that I have couples to work on.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot here
All right.
because I assume you've done this with your wife and you've come up with a bunch of these moments. So
Oh,
I want to
man.
know,
Yeah.
out of those moments, what is the big one, the best one that just comes to mind for you?
Oh man, you really put me on the spot.
Yeah.
I really think I always say it's the small things that you do consistently that means a lot.
Mhm.
And one regularly thing that my wife and I do. We love Indian movies. We
Okay.
love Indian movies. So Netflix is one of our best friends. So cozying up in the bed, watching an Indian movie on Netflix. Those we've done that throughout our 31 years of marriage, and they've been wonderful.
Yeah.
They have just been wonderful. We do date, go out and things like that, but those special moments like that, we love them. We absolutely love them. So those little moments like that, spending time together, mean the world to us.
Yeah, I like that. And just the fact that there's so many of them, it's just something that carries on throughout the marriage for you, as opposed to, remember that one time, 84.
Oh yeah, and another thing that we do, we started this early on in our marriage, is for our anniversary every year, however long we've been married, we always spend some time together, go on a date, and we take that time to come up with that many blessings in our relationship. So we just had one June 30th. That's our anniversary. So June 30th, we went out, and we've been married 31 years. So we sat there and we went to a restaurant where they had, it's a nice restaurant, but they had, what is it called? That kind of paper that you could write on.
Oh,
as a tablecloth.
We call it construction.
Butcher paper or something.
Okay.
So they had that on the, so we said, hey, let's just use this and write on it. So we came up with 31. And since we've done it every year, we can do it in about 5 minutes or less.
Mm-hmm.
So those are, and I've recorded, I have an app where so I can look back. We've been married 31 years. I can look back when we were married, year 20, year 21. And my friend, that is just, woo, it's a major, a good shot in the arm that, wow, even though we go through things in our relationship, when we look back, we really got some great memories.
Nice. Okay. And I'm assuming the Netflix and Indie movies is just one of the things that doesn't count for every year. It's just
That's right. That's right. We come up with several other things. But yeah, the Netflix Indian date. We just had one Saturday night. So yeah, they're very nice.
Nice. Okay. So it sounds like most of what you're focused on is relationship, just from the way you're talking, but I'm seeing Success Strategic Group, Global Alliance of Leadership Development. So are you just really, really busy? What's going on here? Because I got tired of reading all the shit you're doing right now.
Well, this is what happened in my life. After I discovered my purpose, all right? After I discovered my purpose, I trained my mind to come up with 100 ways to implement my purpose. So that was in, like I said, 2003, 2004. Mm-hmm. So I've just trained my mind, and my purpose is to impact and empower people to succeed in their personal and professional life in order for them to be productive and fulfilled. One of my premise is we were created to succeed in our lives, succeed in relationships, but we've been conditioned to just survive. So that has been a huge engine in my life, is to tell the world, you really were designed to succeed. Mm-hmm. You don't have to just buy into what society is telling you, that you just have to survive and you have to knock a person down to get up the corporate ladder. You don't have to do all that. You can really succeed, but you have to know the principles of how to manifest success. So therefore, that led me to developing the Noble Success Group, my business, the Noble Success Strategic Group. And, I have a real passion to train in other countries. So I do training in Pakistan, in India, Nigeria, the Philippines. So my overall goal is I just love to empower people and I want them to succeed. So definitely the relationship is a huge arm that I do, but yeah, whatever I can do to help people to succeed in their life, that's what I'm all about. So I always like to say I'm productive. When people see my life, like, oh, Dr. Banks, you're so busy. No, not busy, because everything that I'm doing, I enjoy. Mm-hmm. So I get the honor to do these various things. I manage my time well, and so all of these things are not draining. They are really fulfilling.
Nice. Okay, I want to talk more about that, but we got a question on the marriage here. How does the cross-cultural aspect of your marriage been positive and negative? That's a deep question, man. Like, whoa.
All right. Hey, okay. So I need to ask you, how real can I be on this, on your platform?
You can be as real as you want. Yeah, anything goes on this show, man.
All right. So I'm gonna give them. Hey, I'm open book. I'm open book now. I'm sure my wife was here. She's like, oh, I know you're not gonna say all that, but hey, she'll find out later. Here's the positive things. One of the positive things is we allowed our diversity to complement our relationship. You know, we just allowed our diversity to really be an advantage. You know, she looked at the world totally different than how I looked at it, and vice versa. So that just really opened up both of our mindset. I am talking from an American view. She's talking from an Indian view. So that just really opened up our mind about things. So it just broadened. Now, the adjustment period. Now, you know, definitely in India many years ago, you know, when it comes to romance and sex, that was, you know, you don't talk about that. You don't really do it openly, you know. So that had to be a little adjustment, because I am very romantic. I like holding hands. I like hugging outwardly, you know, walking, holding hands. To my wife, at first, that was a little difficult, because it was, you know, growing up, it was like, hey, you do all of that at night, lights off. You know, so that had to be a little adjustment, because, you know, we at the park, I want to hold her hand. Just like, no, let's you know. So we had to kind of get adjusted to her feeling comfortable that, hey, you know, this is a part of the relationship. So had to do an adjustment period, but hey, we got it together.
Okay, I actually lived in Japan for a while. And one of my friends, female, she was like so upset one time because it's the cultural norms there are similar to in some aspects to India. And what had happened was her mom had scolded the hell out of her because her boyfriend was leaving, had gotten to his car, and then she remembered something. So she rushed over the car, he put the window down, and she leaned in to tell him. And then she came back, and that was all. She just leaned in. She didn't even kiss him or anything. She just tell him. And then she gets back, and the mother's like, what was that? And she's like, I just had to tell them. But the neighbors saw you lean in, so you might have been kissing him. And you can't do that in front of the neighbors.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, yes.
It's incredible how it varies from place to place.
I know.
And even there was another thing in Japan that just blew my mind, and I don't know if that's probably changed now, because this was when I was like just got into college, but there was this sort of cultural thing that you date and you're affectionate, but once you kiss, that's the signal from the girl that it's okay to have sex. Right? Wow. So she was dating this guy, and he wasn't trying to kiss her. He was waiting for the invitation. And she was just thinking, is he into me? Is he not into me? What's going on? Because she didn't know the culture. She's North American. She's living there. And then one day, finally, they kissed. And then he was like all over her, trying to get the clothes off, because he'd been waiting. It's been building up. And she's like, what's going on? What just happened?
Oh my goodness.
Right? Then
Cultures,
everything got
there's something.
explained. So,
I tell you,
yeah, cultural barriers there. It's amazing to explore that. So,
it really is. It really is.
okay. So with the success, I want to get back because we're coming into Success Fest.
Yes.
I'm really interested. Well, actually, are you doing the talk and the workshop or just the talk or?
Yes, I did the keynote as well as the workshop.
Okay. So what is your keynote about?
The keynote, I really talked about how to succeed from within. So I gave that story. I shared that story. And then I shared another story that I use in my talk. And it's a little boy. He's asking his dad, Dad, will you teach me how to be a warrior just like you?
Hmm.
Will you teach me? And the dad said, sure. And the son was so excited. Oh, my dad is going to teach me how to be a great warrior. So the son started thinking, my dad is going to show me all the external things. He's going to show me the weapons, the hideaways. So he's going to show me all these great things. And the dad took him to a well. And the boy was like, why are we going to a well? I'm not thirsty. And then the father asked, son, I need to ask you, why do you want to become a warrior? And the boy didn't even think. He immediately said, the reason I want to become a warrior is because I really want to protect my people. I want to make sure that they are safe and they can live out their destiny in their lives. And the father said, son, everything you need, the ingredients to become a great warrior, is already inside of you, just like this water in this well. Now, what you need to do is to learn how to draw it out of you,
Hmm.
to draw it out of you. So I shared that story in my keynote to help people understand the ingredients for them to succeed. It's already inside of them. They just need to learn how to draw it out. And one of those is the purpose. So that's my keynote. And then for my workshop, I went in detail of helping people to discover their purpose. So I developed a program helping people to discover their purpose.
Okay. So if you are listening to this and it's before the Success Fest, if you have problems with your purpose, go in there, go to that workshop, discover. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing thing. I'm just trying to figure out how they're going to put all the content of 200 speakers in 4 days. Right?
Hey, I'll leave that up to Trevor, ER, Spalding. I'll leave it up to them. They evidently they got a great team, and Trevor, I can't thank Trevor enough. I just love his passion. I love his team really wanting to make sure that they make us the exposure. So I really appreciate Trevor and what he's doing.
They gave so much value in
Yes,
this
they did.
because when I normally go to a summit, it's like, okay, here's the summit. What's your topic? Be here at a certain time. Yeah, we're done. That's it, right? There might be a meet and greet for the speakers one time, and then we're done. But we're every single week we are learning stuff. We are getting tools. We are networking. We are like, it's just been insane. Right?
It has. And the graphics, come on, the
Oh yeah.
graphics, all of the things. So yeah, I was like, this is new. This
Yep.
is new. I'm the same way. When someone wants you to come in, do this, this, and this, we'll see you. But yeah, he has really done a great job helping all of us with the graphics, and so it's been nice.
Did you do the 3 minutes success in 3 minutes or less?
They with the T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Now I haven't seen it. I did it. I sent it off. I hope I sent it to the right. But I did do the 3 minutes or less. But again, I sent it out, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. How about you? Did you?
Mine came out, and yeah, it's so different. Like, it's amazing because I've got to learn to do this more. Just putting that music in the background while you're talking just ups the impact. But then they also have the cut scenes while you're giving the talk, and like this is just something they threw in. Like, we didn't have to pay for it. It's just like, just do a 3-minute video. We'll take care of the rest. I'm like, what's going on here? It's a great lesson in giving value to the people.
I know.
Everyone that's in this is so appreciative. And I know from what they've done with us as the speakers, what they're going to give the people that come to the festival is going to be just insane. Right? Like,
hey, how about your quote? Did you put a quote out? Did you do a quote?
My quote's actually something that I say in my webinars on my last Mondays every month. It's that your current life is just the first draft and you get unlimited drafts.
Oh, wow. That's nice, my brother.
What about yours?
Oh, man, I had a long one. So I'm going to do the quick, just reversion of it. I just said success is really wrapped up in visualization and association. It's just really wrapped up in what you visualize, who you hang around, and just developing those and nourishing those. All of that is key to really manifesting success in your life.
Okay. So, having worked with, I'm assuming, at least hundreds, if not thousands of people at this point, right? What is the thing that you found people don't get? The thing that seems to be overlooked, that they just miss when they're trying to create success and say, I'm not getting it.
Oh, excellent. Great point. Man, you're a great host. People complicate it. They feel like they need to complicate it, you know? And they just like, Dr. Banks, is surely not that simple. And I tell people success is not made to be complicated, but you have to be willing to be consistent. That's what success wants. It doesn't want you to do 1,000 things in a day. It just wants you to do a few things consistently.
Yeah.
You see?
Yep.
That's the biggest thing from working with people all over the world. That's their biggest block.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Banks, it's gotta be more, it's gotta be complicated. You know, it can't be that simple. That's what they say. Dr. Banks, it can't be that simple. Yeah, but how well are you consistent? Because I realize most people don't do things consistently. Most people do things conveniently. Mm-hmm. They do it when they feel like it. And I say, if you want to be successful, you gotta have something overriding how you feel, because success, I always say, tomorrow's success starts today. Mm-hmm. So whatever you want tomorrow to manifest success, you got to be willing to do the daily habits on a daily basis. So that's one of the biggest I have seen with people. They just cannot believe it's simple, because they think, oh, surely, no, it's got to be complicated. No, you just got to be willing to be consistent.
Yeah, one of my coaches was talking about taking that consistent action every day. And one of the other things he pointed out was, each day, look at your life and look where you want to be. And
that's right.
Come up with what is the one action that will have the biggest impact to get me from here to there. And he was very clear. It's like, I'm talking impact, not amount of work. It could be a phone call that takes 2 minutes.
That's right. That's right. You got it. You got it.
And the thing about it was that he said, statistically, the amount of people that do this is zero. Like the people that do it every day. The amount of people that do it once a month, statistically, is still zero. Right? And then a lot of people that do it once a year is at around just above zero, because there's so few people actually doing that, because they think, well, what's this one thing really going to do? Right?
That's right.
But if you do it once a day and then you get used to doing it once a day, you'll find that, wait, maybe I can do 2 things a day. Right? Because once the habit's in there and you're just used to it, it's like brushing your teeth. No, I brush my teeth in the morning, I can do it again in the evening. Right?
Exactly. And one of those things is, every morning I wake up 5:30 every morning. The very first thing that I do is I list 10 things that I'm grateful for. I start with gratitude. And what does that do to me? Man, that centers me, that calms me down, because I'm starting off and thinking, oh my God, what do I have to do? Oh, I got to do this. No. I start off, first of all, let me focus on what I'm grateful for. And that sets the tone for the rest of the day. I start thinking, what am I grateful for? And then I start doing my affirmation. It's how you set the day. And like you said, it's, my gratitude list of 10. How long does that last? 2-3 minutes?
Yeah.
Every day. Out of 24 hours, I take 2 to 4 minutes and write down what I am grateful for. And I've been doing that for the last 2 to 3 years consistently. You may think, Dr. Mays, what does that, my friend? You don't know how much impact that has had on my life. Just that simple little habit that I've developed in my life.
It's interesting. I used to do that consistently, but then there was this shift. And so now it's just this embodiment. So when I'm doing stuff, the gratitude, like it'll be like if I'm driving and I have to make a left turn and there's no traffic coming the other way, I'm like, thank you. Right. And I'm shopping and the thing I want is on sale. Thank you. And it's just the thank you. And I live with my best friend, and the amount of thank yous that go back and forth between us is all the time. The 2 things that are happening in this house every single day: gratitude and laughter. If there's not a big belly laugh in this house every single day, we're doing something wrong. So, and people don't realize that even that laughter, that energy impacts your success. Like, success has got to be hard. You got to be serious. You got to really.
Like, no. That's it. That's so right. That is great. Yeah, laughter is another one, and that is sadly, like I said, with my dad, laughter was not something I didn't fully enjoy growing up, because my dad was so serious. So laughter was kind of like, that was foolish. Laughter is foolish. Why laugh? Boy, work. Life ain't easy. Life is not fair. There's nothing to laugh about. So unfortunately, middle school, high school, I didn't enjoy that. My dad just didn't allow that. So, and I brought that in my marriage. My wife, I remember one time I came home, she was trying to play a joke on me. And as soon as I walked in the house, she had a little note says, "Come find me." I'm thinking, what is this? This is foolish. This is foolish. This is foolish. And she was hiding in the shower. And you know what I did? I sat her down and gave her a lecture.
Oh,
no. You believe that? I sat her down and I gave her, I said, she looked at me and just like, oh, David, you got it. So I really appreciate my bride, because she just let me, hey, David, life is not that serious. Okay. I know, I respect your dad, but you do need to understand, you make life what you want it. And I love rewriting reality. You to create it instead of what was given to you, because that's what my dad, he gave me the reality. Life is hard. There is nothing to laugh about. And you got to fight with life, because it's going to fight with you. My wife helped me to rewrite that, to say, no, life can be hard, but look, it's how you write it. It's how you see it. So I really give kudos to my wife, because so now I think I'm as sillier with her as she is with me. So yeah.
Yeah, it's great that you had that come into your life. I personally grew up with that. My dad made the worst dad jokes all the time, What was interesting, it seemed my dad went the opposite direction, Joyce, because as he got older, he got into spirituality, but he took it very, very seriously.
Oh
And so
yeah.
now it's like spirituality is serious, and you've got to get that look. And I'm like, Dad, what happened to the dad jokes, man? Like, seriously.
Oh yes, yes.
So yeah, but luckily I didn't give up on that just because he shifted over. I'm like, no, I'm having fun. I'm
That's
gonna
it.
keep goofing around. And it's interesting because with my classes, I've actually had people comment. I was doing this class and was on energy work and on shifting your life. And one person got up and like in the middle of the class, and she's like, wait, I have never been in a class like this where there's so much sarcasm and dad jokes when you're trying to teach a spiritual lesson. And I'm like, is that a problem? She goes, no, but I'm not used to it. Like, I thought I was taught this is serious.
I tell you, I look at life. Life has really sold us a lot of things that wasn't true, and that's why I really appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate your work because you're helping people realize you don't have to accept reality how it was given to you.
Mhm.
You can make some intentional choices to rewrite it. So, man, kudos to you. I love it. I love
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Nice. Very nice.
And it's interesting where you're talking about how things can be simple because it sort of overlaps with the concept I talk about, which is obstacles versus challenges. And the way I look at it is obstacles are things you've put in your path to make life hard because it's supposed to be hard. Right.
That's right.
And some people want them because it's like, I worked really hard, so now I feel good. I'm like, but you didn't need to. But it doesn't feel as good if you didn't really work really hard. Right.
If it's too easy, that's it's not that. Oh yeah.
And so, yeah, they don't realize they're purposely making things harder because of that belief running their lives. And I
That's
said, if
right.
you switch over to challenges, challenges are where you sit in the space of, my life is good. This where I am is good. It could be better, but I'm just going to accept where I am. But now I'm going to give myself a challenge to get to the next level. So it's not that something's there and I have to get out of the way and I don't know how. It's like, no, I'm putting it in the way on purpose to make me grow.
Look at there.
And I find when you switch the attitude, you find all those obstacles just start to go away and things get simpler. Right?
That's right. That's right. So true. So true. Good.
Cool. So we're almost at the top. I want to see if anyone has any last minute questions for David. If so, throw them in the chat. I'm going to check Facebook to see if there's any questions there.
I definitely appreciate what has already. That has been nice.
Okay. I think we're good. So I just want to leave it with one last thing. If there is some advice, some amazing quote you used, a word of wisdom you want to give to the people out there, I don't want to struggle. I want to be in flow. Absolutely. Okay, so before you do that, can you give her one choice piece of advice to get into flow?
Oh man, I'm just working on that as we speak, learning how to flow. Wow, excellent, excellent. All right, so the understanding flow is to realize that is the way we were designed. We were designed to flow in our giftedness. We were designed to flow in our purpose. So I'm always going to go back to you got to discover your purpose. You know, because purpose is really understanding and embracing the reason why you exist. That's what purpose is all about. If you don't know that, you're going to end up living a life either living by somebody else's what they deem your purpose is, and it's just won't flow when you're trying to live someone else's purpose. So I always go back to take time to discover your purpose, know your why, because I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at the animal kingdom, I'm looking at the plant kingdom. They all know their purpose. That's why they're able to flow for centuries. Humans are the only ones that still kind of fight with why they exist. When I'm doing a training, I always say Tell me when you were born. And everybody's yelling out March 1st, this. And then I said, now with that same enthusiasm, I want you to shout out why you were born. And you hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
And I say, isn't it interesting that society focused so much on when we were born, and it doesn't do a good job encouraging us to understand why. When you were born only allows you to come into the earth. That's your birthday. But the quality of how you're going to live in this life is not focused on when you were born, but really taking the time to find why. Find your why. And my friend, success opportunities will start coming and looking for you.
And I'm gonna piggyback on that, because that's basically coming down to my 3-minute video. And that is, if you don't know your purpose, what happens? And I said, here's a temporary purpose for you. Be happy, right?
That's right.
Because we can be happy. You say, well, how is that a purpose? Like, first of all, what's the point if you're not happy? But second of all, we're raised in a society where happiness is treated like an illness. Like, if you're too happy, they go, what's wrong with you? What drugs are you on?
That's right. That's right. So right.
But when you step into that, when you get into that happiness and you get into the joy, that's going to lead you to that bigger purpose. And then when you add the happiness and the purpose together, oh my God, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's where fulfillment really takes off like you wouldn't believe.
Okay.
But thank you, Charlotte. She's thanking both of us. Charlotte is thanking both of us. Thank you,
Charlotte. All right.
Hey, it's a pleasure.
Let's go to that final words of wisdom to the audience from Dr. David Banks.
Well, again, I want to thank you so much for allowing me to be on this platform. And I just really want everyone to understand there is a bigger calling to where you are in your life. Just to kind of piggyback on rewriting reality. If you don't like your reality that you're living in, don't feel like you just have to accept it. But you can, I call it this way, you can design your own reality. You can design it. So don't ever feel like, I hate my life. It's like this. Stop acting as if you don't have any way to change it. If you really understood what's inside of you, you would know that, yes, if I don't like my reality, I do have the power and authority to design what I really want. So I really want to encourage everyone to just understand, if you don't like where things are, you do have the power and permission to design your own reality.
All right. Thank you. Dr. David Banks, design your own reality. Don't let reality design you.
Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it.
All right. Thank you so much for being on the program. I look forward to seeing your talks in the coming week and staying in touch and doing some more stuff. This was a great time for me. Thank you for being here.
Excellent, my friend. Pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. This is Shiraz from Rewriting Reality on the Breakthrough Show. Remember, there are other Breakthrough Show episodes, Project Joy, Ask Crystal, and whatever the thing on Friday, that's the big thing that everyone watches is called. I don't know what it's called, but I think it's just called the Breakthrough Show. Sorry, Jessica. But tune in. There's lots to see. And I will be back the last Monday of September for more of this, new guests and more insights. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Have an amazing day. Bye-bye.